Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Seth. And thank you, Printique and Adorama, for having me here. I'm so excited to share with you guys my passion, which is light painting. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm a photographer, and I've been a photographer for over 25 years. I know, it ages me. Oh, let me put it up. Better?
Yeah.
All right, good. So I've been a photographer for over 25 years, and it has been a blast. What I've learned is it's wonderful to capture moments and places and people, but my true passion has come about by doing light painting. And the reason for that is the night is your blank canvas, and you are untethered by the limitations of daylight. You can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. You can create your own reality out of the darkness. And you can even draw with light. So you can also illuminate what you choose, create art that's beyond your imagination, and become the master of light. So that is what I hope to inspire you all today to do. Because we're going to go from capturing light to creating it. And I feel like that's where the true magic is. Everyone is out there in the world capturing the light as it is. And that's really what it's like when you're shooting pictures during the daytime. But at night, or even in a studio, you can create light. And that light doesn't even really exist except for in your camera lens. And that's what I'm really excited to share with you guys today. Because I want you to truly feel like an artist. So we're going to create unique images using long exposures and light painting. And after my presentation, I'm even going to do a live demo. We have our model Justin here in the back, who's geared up and ready to be light painted. And I'm going to show you guys live techniques of light painting. So for those of you who don't know what light painting is, it is a photography technique where you use a light source to shine light on your subject or to draw with light in your scene while doing a long exposure. I'm going to go through the ABCs of light painting, and if you guys would like, you can scan this QR code and get the ABC guide and references. It's like a cheat sheet to what I'm going to show you guys today. So this is the most important slide. Also, if you want to join me on a photography adventure, which is what I do when I'm not doing presentations here with Seth, you can find me on my website at Photour Adventures. So we're going to start with the ABCs of light painting. And the first one is A for ambient light. And ambient light is the existing light in your scene. So first you need to decide if you want to expose for the ambient light. So here's an example of that. So the picture to the left is exposing for the ambient. I'm in my parents' backyard, and you can see the neighbors' houses, which is kind of strange. And the picture to the right, I'm still at my parents' backyard, upstate New York, and I underexpose the picture and I expose for the light painting. So that's really important. First, you need to decide, is the background elements or the ambient important to your scene, or do you want it to just be about your light painting? When you control the ambient, you're really thinking about it as the background. So if you want it to be brighter, you could look at the exposure triangle here. If you want it to be brighter, you can do a longer exposure, open up your aperture, use a higher ISO, or if you want it to be darker, shorten your exposure, close down your aperture, or do a lower ISO. This is probably the most technical questions I get asked, and I just want to make sure it's clear. Any questions so far? Yeah? Great. So here's another example where I expose for the ambient, meaning the stars, and the other one is when I expose for the light painting. So this is actually an interesting picture photographed by using a drone to light paint this rock. So I actually had the drone up really high and was able to illuminate the rock and balance the light, which I'm going to get into next. But if I wanted to create that centrifugal circle in my picture by using the drone to be my light painting mechanism, it was actually too bright because it was like blowing out the whole picture. So I had to darken the whole scene. We're going to dive into that with B for balance. So in the picture to the left is an ambient shot with the moonlight lighting up this cool car. So the first thing I did was I exposed for the ambient light, and then I added my own colors on top of it. And one tip is to make it a little bit darker because you want it to look like still it's a little bit dark so you can add your light on top of it. If you expose properly, it might look like daylight already, and it's better to have a darker surface to start with. So for those of you who venture out of Manhattan and you want to go photograph the stars and do some light painting, these are some tips. You're going to start off with exposing for the stars, and you're going to use a light power that is super low. Because think about it. When you expose for the stars, your camera is super sensitive to light. Because it's trying to get those starlight that's very far away and very dim. So you're typically shooting with an ISO of 3200, and you're shooting at 2.8, and you're shooting for 30 seconds, maybe 10, maybe 20. So when you have a camera that's so sensitive to light, if you bring on a super strong flashlight, it will overexpose the scene. So then you need a low power light, which could be 50 or 100 lumens. Some flashlights say what kind of lumens they are, others don't, but that's kind of the type of power. Now in the city, it's actually the opposite. Here in Manhattan, I want to see all of you guys going out and light painting. You're going to expose for the city light. And then you're going to slightly underexpose, is what I was saying before. Because you don't want it to look like daylight, which you can do. You want it to be slightly underexposed. And then you're going to need a high power flashlight, like 1600, 1800, even 2800 lumen, because it's trying to compete with your settings that you already have. Because think about it. Actually, I'll get into the next slide what the city exposure should be. But you're probably going to start off at 100 ISO, maybe f8 because the city can be bright. And then you're going to end up doing like a high-powered flash to compete with that. In a studio, which is what we're doing here, we want to create a dark room. We're going to underexpose the scene. Our base ISO will be 100. We could start off by shooting in 10 seconds, but maybe we'll need 2 seconds, maybe we'll need 30 seconds. It really depends on your creation. And then you're going to dial in your aperture to get complete darkness. So it's basically the hardest thing we're going to do. Here's kind of a cheat sheet to all three of those. And then we're going to talk about balancing your light source. So when you want a brighter subject and you have a flashlight, you're going to move the light tool closer to your subject, or leave it on longer, or power it up. In terms of your camera settings, you can open up your aperture, you can use a higher ISO, and if you wanted a darker subject, let's say my light tool is too bright, I can move it farther away from my subject, I can keep it on for shorter, I could power it down, or I could close down the aperture or lower the ISO. So guys, that was the most technical thing we're going to talk about today. Does that make sense? Good. Let's get into some fun stuff. We're going to keep on with the ABCs. We got a seat right over here on the front row, my friend. We've been waiting for you. C is for color. So since we're introducing color and light, why not, we're actually introducing light, why not make it colorful? And I think that's where the fun and the magic is. I have this circle here with the colors of light. If you're going to look at that, you're going to use blue and orange are across from each other, the color wheel. That's going to give you the most dynamic light and dynamic colors. So I always like to play those colors against each other, warm and cool tones. Like this picture I have featured here is the car in Death Valley, and it's a blue hour shot. By adding a warm tone, it really makes the car pop. It could have used a white light, that would have been fine, but making it a warmer tone really makes it pop. Also, when it comes to color, you can make your subject stand out. You can create a narrative and use it for storytelling, or you can even evoke a feeling. So when we look at this picture here, we see the red witch, the green witch, and the blue witch. You know, just by making one witch red, you can guess which one is the evil witch, right? It's always the red. I don't know why. Red's the evil color. It just is. Also, you can just paint a scene with natural light like this, or you can make it more vibrant. So just by changing the color, you can change the story that you're trying to tell. Again, this is one of my favorite new shots. I was just in a ghost town, and they have a time machine. So this is a time machine from the movie, I guess, The Time Machine. And I thought, oh, okay, let's create like a really timeless picture. So we had our model stand in. She was a little cyberpunk from the future. We had her stand there. And then in this one, I said, let's make it look like you're actually traveling through time. Same location, same scene, just different colors and different light patterns are able to tell different stories. Question?
The white bands, did you add that, or was that part of the exhibit?
The question is the white bands. Are you talking about these swirls on the bottom?
Yeah, in the back too, behind.
Yep, so that is a light whip. So I'm going to show you guys how I use that. So it's basically a fiber optic whip, and you can make it a bunch of different colors. And yes, I added that. Everything you'll see in these pictures are done in camera with the exception of star trails. So it's only when I included star trails that I had done a picture and I put a composite. Everything else is done all in one frame. When we think about D's for direction, let's talk about the direction of angle of light. all the pictures you see, I'm putting the light off to the side, because if you shoot right from behind the camera, it's boring and flat light. So you want to create textures and patterns. Like this cowboy here. He's looking into the light, and it tells a story. He could be the good guy or the sheriff, because he's got broad lighting on his face. By putting the light off to the side, now we're shooting into the shadow side of his face, and now he looks like he could be the villain. It's a little bit out of focus. I think the Wi-Fi is not seeing it well, but something is happening. But it is a sharp picture. So we're looking into the shadow side of his face that it kind of looks like the villain. See the next pictures. Yeah, the next pictures are working. So another thing is, this is an example of me putting a video light and moving it around the subject, which is a truck. And just by studying the way the light shapes the truck tells a different story. So I recommend partnering with a friend, having them walk around your subject and seeing which angle of light casts the most interesting shadow. So this is the broad light, this is the front lights, and this is from the back. And you can see how much shadow and texture we're getting here. And this is from the back of the truck. When it comes to exposure, you're going to put your camera on manual mode, or you could put it in bulb mode. I like to shoot in manual mode because I like to have that control. And the ISO, aperture, and shutter speed are all going to be dependent on your environment. So remember how we went back and we're talking about if we want to expose for the ambient? So that's going to dictate some of our settings. And again, these are some basic starting points if you're shooting in the city. 100 ISO, f8, 10 seconds, under the moonlight. Really depends on what size the moon is, but 640 at 5.6 and 20 seconds. And again, under the stars, 3200, 2.8 and 30 seconds. And then you're going to adjust based on your environment. These are just kind of starting points to get you started. So F is for focus, and that is important because we're going to be in the dark and it's kind of hard to focus. So I recommend setting your camera up on the tripod, because we need a tripod, using a flashlight to illuminate your subject. Use autofocus so it finds the focus on your subject, but then putting it in manual focus, because then it's locking in the focus. If you keep it in autofocus, as soon as you turn off the flashlight, it's going to hunt for focus. And then if you have a model, mark the ground so they know where to return to, and you don't need to do as much refocusing. In terms of gear, today I'm using the OM system. It's an amazing camera that has a live comp feature, which allows me to show you guys light painting in real time. I'm using a wide angle lens just so I can show you guys a little bit more of the environment. Also, I like to do big light paintings. We are kind of limited in our space today, but when I'm out in the environment, I like to get really large and light paint the whole scene. I'm using Benro tripods. I love the cyan bird. We have it to demo out in the front. A remote trigger is really important so you can trigger your camera and not be right behind it, and also avoid camera shake. A flash, because we're going to illuminate our model. Nan light tubes are great for illuminating the backgrounds. Flashlights are really important. I can talk all day about flashlights, but I have a couple that I really recommend on my gear guide that you can email me about, and also the Nan light T8 tube, which I'm going to show you guys. These are the 3 flashlights I really like: an RGB critter, which turns like 47 different colors, the Olight Warrior, and this lightpaintingbrushes.com, paradise.com. So we're rounding out the alphabet. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but a couple things on how to find a good location is scout your location during the day, look for good composition, watch for light interference. And light interference could be a street light that turns on right where you wanted to do your light painting and now it ruins the scene because there's a bright light on, or traffic could be coming by and illuminating your scene. So just look for these things, kind of anticipate it. It's not always easy to see during the daytime. Look for any trip hazards on the ground. And lastly, beware of all safety. I recommend going out with a friend and having them kind of watch your back and watch your gear. And it's also way more fun. When you're scouting for a location that's not in a city, I recommend using the app called Photopills. Because with Photopills, you can see where the North Star will be, where the moon will be rising, where the sun is setting, and you can use interesting night elements for your composition. So here, I use Photopills. And Photopills has this little center star. This is saying that this is the North Star. And I knew based on this lineup that this is where the North Star would be. So if I wanted to do star trails, I could get centripetal star trails. So I came during the day, I saw the composition, I took my little screenshot so I know to remember to come back and get that angle. And then I came back at night and the moon was out. It was like a full moon, which I could have just been like, that's cool. It's good, well lit. I thought it was interesting enough, but I said, how can I add my unique touch? Now this is where we start to get creative, guys, because I want you guys to put the you in your unique pictures. And by you, I mean, add your own color, add your own light. So because it's so light, the really only dark element of this picture is inside the garage. So this is a time lapse. I used the RGB critter flashlight. I lit up the car, and then I lit up the inside of the barn, or the garage actually. And this is what it looked like. So I was like, hey, that's interesting. You know, that's a unique shot. And then I left the camera in the same exact space for 45 minutes, and I came back and I put the pictures together in a software called Star Stacks, and I created this picture. So this is one of the few composites that I have with the star trail and the light painting. Could I have done it all in one picture? Sure, but I like to do a variety of different light paintings, so then I just add the sky as a composite. So someone once asked me, how did I get into light painting? And the way I got into light painting is because I was taking pictures like this. And I don't know why it's not focusing. I'm going to try. Oh, there we go. It took a second. The reason why is because I was taking pictures like this. I love the night sky. I love the Milky Way core. I love watching the way the stars are moving. And this is kind of what all the pictures look like, silhouettes. And after a while, it kind of got boring to me. And I thought, what could I do to make this interesting? And a car came by and lit up Balance Rock here. And at first, I was annoyed. I was like, what the heck? This car just ruined my shot. But then I kind of liked it. And I thought, okay, what if I lit up this tree? So now I'm like a part of the picture. I went from just being a bystander to what was happening to now being a part of the picture and now lighting up my scene. And I went from using a headlamp to using a drone. So now I'm like a light god, putting the drone in the sky, lighting up things where I want the sun to be lighting things up during the day. And I'm able to capture amazing images like this. And this is a drone doing a circle around this rock. So some of you guys are saying, I don't have a drone, Susan. I don't have these fancy flashlights, but I'm sure you have a speed light or a flash like this. And you can create images just with this speed light. So I'm going to show you guys how I do that, but I have it right here. I'm going to use a speed light, and it's not even that fancy of a light tool, but I put it on manual, and then I put it at 1/8 of a power. You could start wherever you want, and I just flash it back towards the camera. I would actually lower the power to the lowest power because you don't want it just to be blown out. And I wrote the word create here. So, I mean, this is just a simple speed light, and I'm creating interesting pieces of art with it. Again, here, I'm having a model stand in one place, and during the course of 10 seconds, she moved to 3 different locations, and I just strobed her with the flash 3 different times and was able to create an image like this. Again here, now I have a dancer. This is one of my workshops, is Drone and Pinnacles. I took the speed light, had her move to 4 different positions, all in the same frame, and flash at 4 different movements. And it's really fun. I mean, guys, this is as basic as it gets. I'm sure you guys can pick one of these up here at Adorama if you don't have one. Now we're transitioning into the fun part, which is light painting tools. So before we were talking about light painting, but actually now we're talking about light drawing. So now we're actually going to be using lights to draw in our frame. So I want you guys to all feel empowered to go home and do this tonight. I'm sure you guys have some parchment paper, empty soda bottles, some sparklers, holiday lights. They're easy to find nowadays, glow sticks. And 2 things that you might not have is a T8 tube. So a T8 tube is one of these I have here. You can get them at the hardware store, and it's actually called a T8 guard. It's to protect these halogen lights that they have in the Home Depot. So they're hollow, they bend, you know, and this one has a piece of parchment paper in it, so it's more opaque. They're normally clear. You can put sort of gels in them. They're $4. So I want to empower you guys to go to your Home Depots and Lowe's, pick up one of these because you have an instant lightsaber. I'll show you guys how cool this is. So look at that. So $4, easy investment, and it's super cheap and easy to go. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about is your phone. Sorry, we're raving. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is your phone. You guys all have a phone. You can do amazing things with this. You have the flashlight feature. We all have a flashlight feature. This is incredible. I use it all the time to light paint, and it's always in your pocket. So as long as you have your camera and your tripod, you can light paint and it's dark enough. Or you can put a certain pattern on your screen. I'll pick out this one. But I could even Google like colors, and then you can do a little pattern with this. So I'll show you guys what that means. So see this picture down here? This was taken by me just Googling rainbow pattern, and putting it on my LCD screen and moving through the frame with it. So you guys all have the tools you need in your pocket already. If you want to make an investment, these are the ones I've invested in. You'll see them tonight. Lightpaintingbrushes.com has a beginner's kit, starter's kit. It's so cool. It comes with a fiber optic brush that you'll see, and a lightsaber, and a flashlight. If you want fancier tubes with gels already in them, lightpaintingstore.com. And you guys are all going to see the hula hoop, which is everyone's favorite tool. Everyone asked me at the end of my presentation, not when can I sign up for your next class, it's when can I buy the hula hoop. So it's amazing, but you guys are all going to love that one. It's my favorite light painting tool. So here's an example of just using your flashlight. This is the flashlight on the phone. This is using the LCD, and this is just using the flashlight again. So just to show you guys, it's pretty simple stuff. This is putting a flashlight in a piece of parchment paper that's rolled up. This is a soda bottle. And this is just a flashlight, and I'm using it as light graffiti. So what I like to do is I like to find a famous New York City scene, and there's so many of them, and add my own unique touch. So to do this picture, I took my flashlight, I put it right up against the wall, almost like chalk. A little bit of light was peeking out. I set my exposure up for 30 seconds, and I wrote like chalk, making sure I wasn't blocking the view of the camera, I Heart New York City. And then I had another friend with another flashlight doing zigzags all around the ground. And people thought we had lost something. A lot of people came up to us afterwards like, what are you looking for? We're like, no, we're just, weirdos. We're light painters. We're just having fun in the dark. But it's kind of a fun thing to try out. And you don't get arrested for it because it's not permanent graffiti. It's only light graffiti. So I'm going to take you through one more setup of how we do it from start to finish. Remember the ABCs? A is for ambient, exposing for the stars. B is for balancing the light. So here I'm using a video light. I'm sticking it inside this church. I'm using a technique called low-level lighting, which allows you to put a light source inside a location. I normally have them on a little stand, and they illuminate my background. I put them at like 1 to 10% brightness, and they're on the whole time. So it's cool because I can do a lot of other things with my light painting. So if you notice a lot of my pictures, the lights, I set them up, and they're lighting up the background, and then I do all the light tubes and fun things for my models and such. So this is on inside the church, pointing up. If you think about C for color, I made it red because I had a blue sky, and I thought that was pretty cool. But I thought if I have a church, I need a subject. So I had to add a couple. So I had my couple stand in here. I grabbed the tube, and this was just a test shot. You could even see my feet are here because I never moved out of the frame. So a thing about light painting is you don't want to stand in the same spot. You want to wear black, and you want to move through your frame. I also had a piece of green tape at the end of my tube, and that's why I had a green on it. So that was the test shot, and this became the real shot. I ended up putting a blue light inside the church. I ended up using a red tube with a napkin at the end of it to give that thickness. And then remember how I wrote create with the speed light? I just used the speed light, and I did this kind of popping effect. So if anyone is sensitive to strobing, I'm going to warn you. I just hit this red button, and I just went pop, 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 pop. And I had it powered down to its lowest power. On this one, it's 1/128th. And I created that effect, the fairy light effect. It was really cool, really simple. This is for a workshop I was leading in a ghost town. And here's an example of what it looks like to light paint. You guys are going to see this live in just a couple minutes. I'm using 2 tubes, and I switched them in my hands. And this is a Badwater Basin. It filled up with water a couple years ago in Death Valley. It was such a unique scene, and I was able to create this. So pretty cool, right? Here's another example during Burning Man I want to show you guys. So first I'm going to pop the light on my subject. So this is the lights on the model. Then I went and got the light tube. It's a little bit slow because of the internet, but I think I might just stop after this and show you guys the live demo for real. So let's see. Yeah, that was the final product. So last thing is just to remember what to do for a cityscape. We're going to expose for the ambient. We're going to add some light, which tests out our lights, and then we're going to add our model. So because I'd like to jump into the demo, who's ready for that? Let's do it. Any questions so far on the basics? Because that just kind of gave you the framework of what you needed to know, of what I'm going to do. Because then once the light turns out, you're like, what is Susan doing? Now I'm going to get into the fun stuff. So we're going to go to my live feed. close this out. Close this out. Perfect. So here we go. And live. Great. So here we have this beautiful setup. I'm going to move this backpack. Sorry, Justin. I'm just going to move it over here. Actually, I think we're ready for you, Justin. I'm going to introduce you guys to the tube first, one of these tubes. I'm going to show you guys a couple shapes. Let's do this purple one. So I'm going to have you stand right on that dot. But just to show you guys a couple shapes that I'm going to do, this is that $4 tube you could get at the hardware store. The technique is to turn your body sideways because you want to hide behind your subject. Stick your arm out straight and then give the thumbs down sign. So you're going to grab this. And I buy a lot of flashlights that have this pen clip, but you can always tape your flashlight to the end of your tube. You're going to hold it down like this, give the thumbs down sign, and then you're going to spin it like this. So think of it as a bike wheel, and you want to keep your wrist exactly how it is. When you get to here, you're going to say, hey, Susan, my wrist doesn't turn anymore, and then you're just going to let go. So the idea is to keep your hand, like let's say a coin is on the ground, right over that coin, and then keep it steady. That is how you do a circle. It is simple, but it's easy to make it look bad. It takes a little bit of practice. Some people will just do this big thing, and that's fine too, but if you want it to be a perfect circle, you keep your hand and you turn your body so you're hiding. One other technique, I like to call it the windshield wiper. You guys all know how to do the windshield wiper like this. I like to do it from the side. So there's not a ton of room to do it from the side, but I will try and do the windshield wiper around my buddy over here. And then the last one, it's called a vacuum cleaner. It's when you vacuum clean around your subject, and it's to add dimensions. I know I came up with these names. It's to add visual representation to what's going on, but I'll show you guys them in real time, and it'll make a little bit more sense. Who's got the question?
Someone's asking, is there a target shutter speed to aim for?
Well, it's all about what you want to create for. So sometimes if you look at Eric Perret, he's a famous light painter, his exposures are 2 seconds because he's just going like this, boop, 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 done. But I actually like to do a lot of more intricate things. I'm flashing my models, I'm flashing behind the model, I'm going around them. In that case, I need like 10 seconds. Sometimes I'll go to 20 if I'm running out of time. So it really depends on how long you want to create for. So first things first, let's talk you through the basics. We're going to put our model into the scene. Thank you, Justin. Great. First, I'm going to just talk through it. So I'm going to make sure he's focused. So I did a little focus. His eyes look perfectly focused. Great. Then we got our focus. I put it in manual focus. And now we're going to turn the lights off. Thank you. So first you focus. I also put a piece of tape. So you see that dot? That's going to be where you're going to kind of stand. Perfect. And this isn't the perfect environment because it's dark. It's not dark, totally dark, but I have a cheat sheet. My cheat sheet is I have this amazing camera called the OM system. It has a feature called Live Comp that allows me to take a 0.5 second exposure, but then use it, and then the camera's open in a bulb mode, and the only thing being exposed is new light. So watch this. So my first shutter was at 0.5 seconds, but now when I do it again, nothing else is exposing until I add new light. So it allows me to do a longer exposure. So first things first is we're gonna have you pose, look at the camera, maybe cross your arms, look like a tough guy. Actually, put your arms out like this, yeah, perfect. So I'm just gonna do a circle, make sure that the tube is pointing towards him.
There's a request in the chat to hear lightsaber noises as you do this.
I need someone to help me with that. So that is a simple circle, silhouetted. Perfect, right? Not the most perfect circle I've ever done, but you got it. And who can do the saber sounds? It's not me. That's going to be all you, Seth. So we did the circle, and if you want to look at the playback, I can flip back and forth. Pretty simple, guys. You know, I also have this tube, and I put a piece of white napkin at the end of it, so it creates that look. So now we're going to go on to doing something more advanced. Let's add some light. We want our model to have a face. We're going to use, let's go back to this. We're going to try a speed light. So for this one, because we're in such a small space, I'm using a Magmod grid so the light doesn't go everywhere. That means it's going to be a narrow beam of light. It's probably only going to light up his head and his chest. I'm okay with that. It's because if I used it without it, it would light up the back of the wall and then the light painting wouldn't be as interesting. So I also have my remote trigger here, so I'm going to trigger this. I'm going to use a green tube this time. And for this one, yeah, you're going to look at the camera and I'm going to actually flash your face. So yeah, give me your most debonair look. Perfect. Good, and yep, 3, 2, 1, and we're live. So we're gonna go with the speed light. Great, the light's a little bit hard, but that's okay. This is a little too close to him. Stay still, and we're gonna do a couple little circles around him, make him look like a supervillain with this green light. Oh, I turned the tube. Oh, the tube dimmed, so. Let's fix that. I must have hit the button and the tube dimmed. All right, well, that's it. You got that one for now. Let's start another one. The tube, I think the pressure on the flashlight dimmed in the middle of it. All right, let's try one more time. I'll stand a little bit farther away from you. So maybe cross your arms. Do you look? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So I'm not going to dim the tube this time. Got that. Oh, I only hit it one time. So this is the base exposure. Let's do it again. You got to hit it twice. And now we're live. Go for the flash. Perfect. Great. And now I'm going to do, since we already saw I'm going to do the vacuum cleaner. You guys remember that, right? Not much space to do the vacuum cleaner. There we go. And it looks like the tube, the flashlight dimmed again. So it's okay. We got the idea. If I have a bigger area to light paint, you can see a lot more action, but it's a very shallow field. So I'm going to show you guys another thing. This is the Nanlite T8 tube. What's cool about it, you can buy it here at Adorama. Where did it go? I actually left it with Gigi. Gigi, do you have that tube that I left out there? If you could find it, that'd be great. It was a white tube. While you find it, I'm going to show you guys what you can do with your flashlight, with your phone. So this is what you guys have already, your phone. So let's get you maybe a power pose, whatever. Yeah. There. Okay, he's got it. What I'm going to show you guys is what you can do with your flashlight. I'm going to make the flashlight beam strong and narrow. I'm going to do one of these. See this? Great. All right, ready? And we're live now. You can actually watch it. Perfect. We're going to light paint him. Perfect. And then we're going to do this kind of swirls. It almost looks like calligraphy. Go down. It's kind of fun just to get creative. Great. Awesome. And I'm going to turn it off. So pretty cool, right? See what you guys can do with just your phone and the flashlight? Awesome. Now we can even make him like he has a superpower. So maybe stick one hand out. Great. And put it a little bit to the side so it won't block your face. Yeah, perfect. A little bit off to the side with your hand. Great. I'm going to trigger the camera. Perfect. Great. First, we're going to light him up. So one thing that's important, which I didn't do, you got to make sure your screen is black. So I'm going to turn my screen off on my phone because you'll still see that. And now we just have the flashlight. So there we go. We got that. That looks good. Oh, and I'm going to make the light look like it's coming from his hand. So here we go. Great, right? You could even do a little bit more. Great. So that's a superpower. Great. So kind of fun, right? And that's all with everything that you have in on your phone. So if I wanted to use the LCD screen on my phone, I could look up a pattern. Like let's just look up a rainbow graphic. Or maybe, there we go, rainbow. Here we go. We have this one right here. I know you're not quite a rainbow guy. My cell phone service is not that good. So let's just pick this blue. So you can actually put any color on your phone, and then it'll become your LCD screen. I should have had something queued up. So here's a kind of an interesting close-up of something I took earlier. I'm going to dance around you again, so go for that. You could just be arms crossed for this one. So going now. First, we're going to light them up. Great. And then now we're going to turn off the flashlight. We're going to make our LCD screen super bright. A lot of things to happen. I have this kind of rainbow pattern. Pretty cool, right? You don't even need to buy lights. You already have it. We'll do a circle around his head. Awesome. Great. And then you can move out of the frame like so. Cool, right? And that's just like a random picture I had on my phone. If we want to do something low, we could, because we don't have much going on the bottom. Perfect. Awesome, right? Good. And we stop the exposure. Nicely done.
Thanks.
Perfect. So far you guys have seen what you can do, the magic of your phone with the flashlight and the LCD screen. What you can do with this T8 tube that you can buy at the hardware store. And did we ever find the T8 tube? No? It might be over here in my, oh, here it is. Thank you. I actually took it back. Here's the T8 tube. Sorry about that. Last I remember leaving it down on the ground over there. Here's the T8 tube that you could buy Nanlite makes. It is amazing. You can put all the colors on it, so you don't even need to worry about putting colorful gels in your gear. Separately, it comes with this little box that allows you to program it. You can use an app. And the funny thing is with the app, I have so many things that connect to my app. It's annoying. So I have this little box that I got extra, but you can use the app, and I turn it on, and I can make it all the different colors. It sort of says what's going on here. Let's make it rainbow. Hue loop. So this is really fun. So the pattern I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the windshield wiper. So let's get you ready. And I'm going to do the flash. So it's a lot quicker to do the flash. So strike your pose. Yeah, like that. It's kind of fun. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Perfect. So he's ready. And we're open. Going to go for the flash. Perfect. And now I'm going to do that windshield wiper technique. I don't have much space, so it's going to be a small windshield wiper. We've got the circle behind him. Great. Nice holding the position. He is so good. I'm going to windshield wiper back. I'm going to do my dance. Do my dance. Do my dance. Perfect. That was awesome. Nice holding the windshield wiper. Ooh, there we go. Perfect. So any questions so far? Isn't this the coolest tool ever? I'm going to do one more, strike a different pose. You can just literally walk around your subject. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Okay, great. So we're going to flash him. Oh, my God, I love your ideas. He's coming. Justin's got this. Okay, great. So we'll do another one. I'm going to make the light come from his arms. Going live now. Okay, great. Oh, I hit it too many times. I got excited. And now, great, here comes the flash. Great. So you can see it's not ideal to use the grid because it's very limiting on where the flash is going. We're going to make his arms look like they're radiating light. And we'll come back, another radiating light. Great. Perfect. And then I'm going to come back. I'm just going to walk around him like this. Beep, 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 beep. That's the sound effects, guys. That's the best I got. Cool. So see how you can make people look like they have superpowers just by having like the light sticks and some flashlights and even like a glow sticks. I don't have the glow sticks anymore, but another cool thing is we can add this on this thing. They have something called strobe. Take a look at this. Welding. I don't even know how this represents welding. I guess if I was making a movie, this would be called welding. Let's make it look weldy. But it's cool because it has a strobe effect. Okay, paparazzi is actually cool too. So, strike your pose again, Justin. You got this. Oh, yeah. He's feeling it now. Perfect. Great. And triggering the camera and open now. So we're going to strobe him. Great. And look at how cool this is, because it's like this weird strobing pattern. I don't really know what it's going to do, but it creates this cool pattern. Woo, woo, woo. I'm doing the sound effects for whoever asked. Woo, woo, woo. All right, I need help. Someone else needs to do the sound effects. I cannot do everything. So it kind of looks like this light sticks going on. Oh, yes. That is good. I love it. Cool. Great. Hold that pose. And perfect. So let's take a look back at the pictures we've shot and see if anyone has any questions on them so far. Justin's killing it. Let's go to full frame. Yes. What is the question? These tubes?
Yeah.
I believe they do. They might be out of stock at the exact moment, but definitely talk to someone here because this is definitely so cool, the Nanlite TA tube. But I think they might be out of stock, but it'll be in stock soon. Yes.
Does it make a difference whether or not you flash them in the beginning or the end of it?
So the question was, does it make a difference to flash them at the beginning or the end? To be honest, I haven't noticed too much of a difference, except for the model sometimes looks more interested at the beginning, and sometimes they start to look more glazed over and bored and confused at the end. But in terms of like changing the dynamicness of the picture, I haven't noticed a difference. But it's a good question. Yes.
When you first take the photo, if the model kind of moves while you're light painting, does that create a problem?
Yes, so good question. So someone said, if the model moves and you first flash them and then you do the light painting around it, will it create something funny? The answer is yes. So if the model moves in between the time that I flash them and then I light paint them, there could be a dark shadow behind them in the space that the light painting wasn't. I mean, it can happen. But that can happen at the end or at the beginning. So yes, that does happen. So that's why you have to have a great model like Justin, who stays still. Any other questions? I'm noticing that I'm not getting Justin's feet too much, so I'm going to point it down a little bit. Oh, I do see him on here. So I guess I just haven't been light painting it too much. Take one step back. Yep, right behind this light line. Perfect. Yep. So Justin actually brought another outfit.
Yes. And well, I brought a cloak.
He brought a cloak. Who doesn't want to shoot it with a cloak? So we're going to... he came. Oh, actually, before you do that, because the hula hoop will not go with the cloak.
Okay.
Let me show everyone the hula hoop.
Let's do it.
Because this is my favorite tool. It is so fun. This is by Hula Labs. They have bigger sizes. I have bigger sizes, but this is the most portable one. And we're going to dance around you with some lights. So let's turn this off. I'm going to go back to using the phone because the phone is cool. And the reason why I like the phone is because it's not spreading light on the background. The flash will spread light on the background. So for this one, you could give me your power pose again. Perfect. Oh, good. I like that. Good. So getting ready, turning the flashlight on, all the little things we have to do. Flashlight on. Perfect. Great. Turn off the screen. Perfect. So going, oh, first I got to make sure you guys can see it. Yep. What's the question in the chat?
Someone online is asking, what would you say is the biggest challenge when light painting with a group photo?
With a group of?
Group photo.
With a group photo. People moving. That's like the biggest challenge with a group photo. So everyone needs to be on board and understand that is a commitment to the photo with a group photo. Also, getting light to spread evenly on each person is a challenge because some people might be closer to where you spread the light. So I would say and if you pop multiple lights and if one person moves, they're going to look crazy. Even I've had people blink in the middle of one light and the other and they look like a reptile. It's actually really cool. This is great for you and your long exposures because he's always trying to make scary people. The people just shift their eyes I have a model do this, and they shift their eyes during the exposure, and it makes their eyes look white. And it's such a cool experience that, you know, she could wear contacts or she could just shift her eyes. So it is a challenge to do a group photo.
Real quick, they're asking you to just go over the camera and the software that you're actually using right now.
Sure. So what I'm using here is the OM system. This is the OM1. There's now an OM2 that's out. What's cool about this camera is that it has a live comp feature, and that's how I'm able to see it happen in real time. I'm using the OM software, and the OM capture is how you're able to see it. And I'm drawing that on my computer. And the playback is called, another one of the OM playbacks, I think it's called OM workflow. So everything is proprietary to the OM system. Can you do light painting with any other camera? The answer is heck yeah. But can you see it happen in real time? No. The only cameras that have this feature is cameras that have computational photography built in. So it is the OM system and the Panasonic and also the phone. So if you have a smartphone, it has computational features built into it. So you can see this as well. Yep. What's your question?
Is when you're doing it the way that you have it set up, are you doing it tethered so that you can see it on the screen after you do the exposure and know that you've got the shapes right? Or do you just look through your camera?
She has a great question. So she said, do I typically tether or do I typically look through the back of my screen? Because I have the OM system, I will typically tether, not all the time because I'm normally shooting on location, but even if I throw the LCD screen around, I can look at the LCD screen while I'm light painting and know that I got everything I wanted. So it's so helpful before I hit stop. When I'm shooting with a regular camera, I shoot with the Sony a7R5 a lot, and I do predominantly a lot of my pictures with this. This is just really a demo camera that I use. It's not perfect for shooting it in the field. That's why I use my Sony, because it's more megapixels. It's better for night photography in the field. But when I do that, I don't use the LCD. You just have to say, guess, okay, this is what my imagination thinks everything went, and you kind of just speculate, and you have to have a good frame of reference. So I know that when I'm right behind him, and I have to center up the camera, and I know if I do this one arm's length this way, I have to do one arm's length that way. So you start to learn spatial references. But when I have a cheap camera like this, it's great to have ability to see it happen in real time, and that's helped me become a better photographer, like a better light painter actually, because I'm able to see what each motion does. I recommend it if you guys really want to learn light painting. Yes?
So you say you use Photour, which means a USB cable from the camera to the computer, right?
Did you say
Tether?
tether? Yes. So tether is when, yes. So you can tether to a TV or monitor or even a little camera. So yes, when I'm doing it for a studio setup like this, sure, it's better to tether because you can see it happen in real time. But when I'm on location, I'm never tethering. I'm just typically using my Sony camera, and I'm not seeing what I'm doing, and you just take multiple shots to get it right. But if you can tether this camera setup, it's awesome.
Use the HDMI out on the camera?
Yes. No, the HDMI out on the computer into the, actually, I'm using just a USB-C into my computer, and then the HDMI is going into their software.
Essentially what it is a tether with a live view in real time. So it's just USB cable.
What's that said? Any other questions?
What is the thing on top of the camera?
Oh, this is a remote trigger. So the remote trigger allows me to press it here, avoids camera shake, allows me to be behind the camera and do the pictures. Great questions, guys. Thank you for paying attention. Yes, one more question in the back.
What are your settings on the camera again?
Good question. I never even referenced that. So my camera settings are 100 ISO, f5, and it's a bulb mode. So it's the live comp mode. So to get this settings, I have it at 0.5, which allows me my base exposure to be 1/5 of a second, but then the exposure is bulb, so I can stop it whenever I want. Yes?
Have you done that with 35mm film?
Can you do this with film?
Yeah.
I'm sure you can. You're gonna have to ask someone who shoots film still. I've never done it with film, but I would love to try. But yes, I'm sure you can still do it with film.
You're just going to stack a ton of ND filters on that lens to take all the light out, because you're not going to go lower in ISO or something like that, right? So you just have to know what your film's range is,
So go
and then
back
keep
one
knocking
more
light
step.
out and then do the
I
math.
don't know where the thing went. Great, thank you.
Way longer answer, wrong demo to answer. We'll talk.
Good questions, guys. So for this one, I'm going to do the hula hoop. I'm going to use the phone to light him up. So we've already hit the first remote trigger. Get into your power pose. Great. Oh, yeah, he's into it. And we're going live. So we're going to start here, work our way up. So a good question is, Susan, do I light him up from the feet up or from the ground up? Ooh, I hit the tripod, but I think it's going to be okay. I light from the feet up because if I start from the head up, then I end up creating a hot spot on the ground. See, doesn't everyone want a hula hoop now? I knew you would. Whoever can do the hula hoop the longest will get the hula hoop at the end. Just kidding. Awesome. Nice pose. Great. So this is the hula hoop. It's also fun. Let me show you one other technique. I'm going to put it on a rainbow mode. This is great if you want to put it around the lens. So we'll put it on a rainbow mode. First I'm going to flash him. Great. You could even do something with your hand right towards the camera. Perfect. So that'll be cool. First I'm going to do is I'm going to trigger the camera. Got that. Going to flash him. Great. And then I'm going to be ready. Stop this. I don't know if I stopped it in time. I need to be on the other side, but let's take a look at that. So you can create this kind of optical illusion. Where did the playback go? Workflow. Yeah, so we'll try it again. We'll get it right on his, I couldn't look at him and the screen at the same time. So we'll try one more time. It'll be real cool. But see how nice that pattern is? So neat. Okay. All right. Going live. And now, flashing him. Great. I missed his hand, so we'll just come a little bit from the side. Well, it looks crazy. We'll start again. Not that his hand is that important, but just to get a good picture. All right, good. Going now. Great. So now the trick is I have to stop it before it gets too much. I have to watch it on his face. There we go. Coming in. There we go. So that was good. So we don't want to close him up too much. And I see Ibis is in the crowd. Ibis is here, and I did one of him and his girlfriend like this, and it was super cool. But doesn't it look like he's going into the vortex? So, the rainbow vortex, that is. Great. So now let's put on the cloak, and we're going to do some fiber optic stuff. Turning this off. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming all in. Yes. Does it have a hood or no? Okay. That's okay.
But Justin has come through for us for like the most recent demos. Let's give him a round of applause for Justin.
Yeah, Justin. All right. So for this one, I have this fiber optic. So one thing I haven't showed you guys is because I just started using all the tools because I pre-checked them all. I haven't checked this out. This actually runs very dim. So it might not be bright enough with the flashlight I have. So what I always do before I get the model involved and everything, I'll test the light out. And the way I do this is I just set the camera up. I turn the light on. Let's see, it's on strobe mode and see if I can see it. Okay, great. So this is what I'll do before I go and do all the elaborate things is I test the light out and make sure it's plenty bright enough. So it is plenty bright enough. It is on a strobe mode, which I don't love. Let's see. There we go. I could turn it off the strobe mode, but is it bright enough now? Let's see. Yeah, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to reset the exposure. We're going to use the phone. We're going to light him up. And now this is when I want you to have fire in your hands. Great. And now maybe put it a little bit away from your face like that. Perfect. Great. Okay, we're live. We're going to light him up. Perfect. Good. So we got enough of him. I'm going to bring the flashlight behind him. And we see the fire. His hands, perfect. Sometimes we need a little bit more fire. And up here. Great. Now, if I wanted to put it on the ground, I could do a little bit more on the ground. Make it really Game of Thronesy. Oh, turned off. Oh, wants to pitter out on me. There we go. Here we go. There we go. And a little bit more on this side. Yeah, you're on fire, Justin. In your Game of Thrones but khaki look. It almost worked. All right, good. So you guys see the idea of creating fiber optic. So what this is, just so for those of you who are back home, it is a fiber optic brush with a red gel, and this is from lightpaintingbrushes.com. You get one in their starter kit. It's so cool. The red doesn't come with it, but you could just buy a red gel here at Adorama and light it up red and create the fiery look. But you do get the black, and what's cool about it is the light only comes through the tips. So I'll show you on this one, which is just pink. You can create the same look. Let's do it. But let's just do a test. So look how much this, so now it's not just the tips, it's just the whole thing. So let's get into position again. Maybe a different one. Okay. So for this one, I am not going to light up his pants. I learned that lesson. That did not go.
Selleck as the
Look.
crow. King of the North, Tom Selleck.
All right. So I'm going to go with the flash. Let's see how this looks. So we know the light won't spill. So going now. Perfect. Let's give him a little flash. Great. And now what's good about this is there's a lot of darkness. So this one should be super bright. Yeah, see how much brighter it is? Because it's not just the tips, it's the whole thing. Barely needs any light. There we go. Perfect. You're really on fire over here. Great. Perfect. Awesome. So you can see the difference in the two different gels. One has a lot more light coming out of it and the other one doesn't. Awesome. One other thing, someone had asked me, how did I create that look on the time machine? So I use this light whip. So this is the whip. What's cool about it is you can pick a bunch of different, oh, let me turn, everything's getting stuck. Great, thank you. This is the light whip, and it's an attachment for this RGB critter flashlight. So what's cool about this flashlight is I can turn it to be so many different patterns and shapes. Great for parties. But let's swirl it around you. So let's have you do your own look again.
Figure out more stuff to do.
You're doing great. You're hired. Okay, perfect. Now back up a little bit. You got a little too close. Yep, there we go. And honestly, I would recommend checking focus every so often because there's nothing worse than getting home and then realizing your pictures are all out of focus. It's the worst. Okay, going now. So we're going to flash him. Great. Oh, no. We hit the button twice. One more time. Cool. And went to a different mode. There we go. Cool. So we could kind of go through this and do a little swirly swirl behind him. Oh, I'm whipping him. Sorry. Sorry, Justin. You've been a bad boy. Sorry. Okay.
And we're striked on YouTube. Awesome. Thank you so much.
We'll do one more. Great. And one more over here. Oh, no, don't move.
Sorry.
That's okay. We'll do a couple more. We'll fill in the holes.
Gonna whip you.
I'm having way too much fun. Sorry, Justin. Okay, good. Great. So, yeah, there we go. Sorry, that was intense.
No, that was cool.
I'm sure.
Turn on the AC. Let's go.
No pain, no gain. So I kind of missed the spot over here. It got a little out of control. I'm not going to lie. Got really into it. But one thing I would notice is Justin looks very blue. Because this light was so orange, I bet you I have it in auto white balance. It turned my white balance into a funny thing. So the flash is blue. So what I could do to combat that would be to put a CTO gel on top so they would blend. Or you just change it in post. It hasn't been a problem yet, but because it was probably on auto white balance, I saw how warm this was and tried to compensate. So the flash and the light tool were very different. But it looks kind of cool. This is the previous ones, just so you can get a look at his work. This is just me messing around. Very nice. Great. So one other look I want you to do is this is also very simple. I showed you guys that you only need a speed light. We're going to get Justin in 3 different positions, kind of like Charlie's Angels.
Okay.
So, yeah, think about first you're going to come 1 step to the left, 1 to the center. That's even too much. Even it could just be like lean
boom,
forward. Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Oh,
right?
it's natural. It's like he's done this before.
Correction.
We put him
Yeah.
through so much in this event space.
So you want me to start from here first, right?
Yeah, one side. Pick a side. Perfect. That's your good side, too. Actually, they're both good. Perfect. So tell me what you're going to do so I can prepare my flash.
We'll do this,
Okay? Oh,
This.
yeah.
and then maybe we'll do it.
Oh, hey. Okay. All right. Got it. So I'm always going to put the light where his nose is pointing. You can choose, but I try not to be right over the camera, even though I think I might have been a couple times, but just try and create shape and shadow with the light direction. All right, we're going now, and I'll tell you when to move. So here, stay still. Great. Next one. Great. Got it. Great. So very cool. Now, would I have cropped in on this exposure? Like, will this be like a tighter shot? Totally. I would totally zoom in, and I'm not going to change the whole setup, but the most interesting part of the picture was this part. So see how you can have, it's great for dancers. I'll play the picture back for you guys. You know, we could keep working it, but I wanted to show you conceptually what it looked like. So it would be better as a tight shot right on in. Let's move in. Zoom, 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 zoom. And then you could even have someone being happy, sad, mad, or, you know, like sleepy, awake, you know, those whole things. So you could do a lot of different ideas with this picture, this kind of concept. Let's go back. Great. I think I've gone through most of my light tools. I'll look at one more time, see what else I haven't played with. This one's one of my favorites. It's a tube I made, a homemade tube. It has a blue and an orange gel. We'll see how it looks today. I made it, you can look, it's very homemade. You have the blue gel, and then I crammed in an orange CTO gel. And I have a tissue at the end of it. So we're just gonna move around him. I'm gonna do a swirly swirl in a circle. We'll see what it looks like. And we're gonna flash him with the flash. Ready for this one?
Yeah.
Perfect. We're live? Great. Good, and then give me a power pose. Superpower. Yes. All right, good. I just like watching you think of things. Okay, going now. Great. Now we're gonna do the little swirlies. So we're gonna come in, little swirls. I'm gonna do a little swirly swirl. So you can see the orange isn't getting as much light as I would have liked. The tube has been in a lot of travels with me, but you still get the end of it, and it still looks pretty cool. Great. Awesome. Great, let's pause that. Perfect. So nicely done. Does anyone have questions, or would anyone like to try this? Yes, a question in the back.
Can you do that with a green screen?
Can I do the green screen? Sure. I mean, why not? So you're saying you want to do this picture and then put it on a different background. I mean, why do that when you can just use like background remove and just have the light painting in the picture? The question would be, would the light painting be thick enough that you would see, like what do you want if it's transparent light painting, it might be a difficult scene. But yes, you can remove the background and plop him on different locations, sure. Yes, Cliff.
Demo the
painting for us?
Oh, the drone light painting. If you brought your drone, I would love to demo it, but that's a good one. I wish I had the drone to do some light painting. Yes?
Thing that you use, how long can it like stay on?
I've never seen how long it could go on, but I'm pretty sure like till the battery dies. I mean, because what I have done is I've done star trails for hours. So it has another feature similar called live bulb. So it's like live comp, but it's more like live bulb. So you're actually watching the star trails build in real time. And that's been for a couple hours. So I think it could be on for hours until the battery dies. Any other questions? Any questions from the online community? Thank you guys for tuning in. Everyone out there online, it's been nice. Seth, do you have any questions?
I'm all right. But if you're watching online, you can follow her here.
Oh,
And you guys
actually,
can see.
I have one more
Yeah,
slide.
put your slide up. Do your thing.
Yeah, let's do the slide. Let's do a legit ending.
A legit ending. Oh,
Yeah.
we don't do that here.
No, I need to. All right, this is my legit ending. I skipped over a bunch of things because I wanted to get straight to the demo. But I want to share with you guys some cool stuff that is going to be happening. Let me make this in presenter mode. View, bam, bam, boom. Oh, not that though. Damn. Ending not strong. Here we go. Full screen.
Memorable.
Yes. All right. This is what's coming up tomorrow morning. Who wants to wake up early and see a sunrise with me in Central Park for the fall foliage chase? If you guys are down, I'm down. You could message me. Light painting in Central Park, I'll be doing on the 14th. You can find this on my website. I'm going to click to that next. I'll be back here at Adorama doing a light painting workshop out in the streets around Adorama on the 19th. Please join me then. It's a lot of fun. We're going to have a small group so you guys can do some hands-on light painting. And I want you guys to be the light painters. Then we'll be doing a holiday photo walk. If you live in Manhattan, this is the best place to be for the holidays, right? So we'll be walking around checking out all the holiday lights. And this is my website, PhotourAdventures.com, $25 off if you guys decide to join me, passcode Adorama. I'm updating it tonight, so tune in tonight. And then I'll be doing a Nelson Ghost Town workshop in Nevada if you guys want to join me in March. So I'm grateful for Justin.
I'm grateful for you. That was a lot of fun.
He was awesome. Thank you, Seth. Thank you, Printique. I'm so grateful for Printique. If you guys